North Korea's government has outlined brand new circumstances under which it might deploy nuclear weapons, and they are rather broad. The nation will depart from prior strategy and launch a nuclear attack in the event that it discovers indications that another nation is getting ready to attack it. The regime specified what further circumstances, including tactical nuclear weapons, could justify its use of nukes. On September 9, the legislation were approved by the Supreme People's Assembly, which met in Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. The Supreme People's Assembly, North Korea's equivalent of the U.S. Congress, is a legislative body that unanimously approves any laws Kim Jong-un wishes to propose because it faces no political opposition. This lends a tenuous air of legitimacy to the dictator's regime. The regulations relax the conditions under which nuclear weapons would be used in the nation. A preemptive assault will now be launched by North Korea if it notices indicators that it is likely to be attacked, in addition to retaliating if it is attacked, in accordance with the new laws. Additionally, unspecified causes that endanger the life of the regime and its people could be the cause of its launch. The law also permits the use of nuclear weapons in situations where it is unavoidable for tactical reasons, expanding their usage outside of strategic, all-out nuclear confrontation. This raises the possibility of using smaller tactical nuclear weapons on the battlefield in the event that North Korea or South Korea invaded the other. In addition, it can be applied to counter non-nuclear assaults. Nuclear retaliation would also be used against attacks on the nation's essential strategic targets. One of the largest changes is a new practice known as pre-delegation, in which the person with ultimate authority to launch nuclear weapons establishes conditions for others to act in their place, typically the military. The North Korean People's Army can now launch its nuclear weapons automatically if Kim Jong-un, the core command leadership, is in danger or has already perished, in accordance with the new doctrine. The development of conventionally armed, precision-guided cruise missiles and ballistic missiles in South Korea is the direct cause of this approach. The sole purpose of this armament is to decapitate North Korea's leadership and disconnect it from its nuclear arsenal in the event of an emergency. In order to prevent Kim Jong-un from using nuclear weapons in a crisis, it is necessary to make him fear for his life, or in the event that that is not possible, to deny him the authority to direct launches. These preparations appear to have hurt Kim personally, and it's obvious that South Korea's decapitation strike plans have upset him. According to the new law, Kim's generals would still use nuclear weapons in retaliation even if he were to get trapped by a South Korean strike in a subterranean bunker with his internet and phone lines cut. Actually, North Korea's previous nuclear strategy was fairly cautious. In the past, North Korea has said that it will only use nuclear weapons if they are used to attack it first. The official policy of China and India is no first use, and it is intended to be a crisis-calming measure. Unless you intend to use your own nukes, you don't need to worry about Beijing or Delhi's nukes if you're at war with them. The issue with Kim Jong policy UN's is that it is being created by a dangerous dictator who is not answerable to anyone and who has the freedom to change his policy at any time. His policy therefore has little practical meaning. How significant are Kim's new nuclear regulations? In a dictatorship like North Korea, whatever Kim wants is the law, and that's that. Therefore, a lot of this is essentially window dressing. Simply amplifying the message and making sure that everyone is aware of it is passing a law during a session of the gigantic Supreme People's Assembly. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is likely another source of inspiration for the new rules. The conflict is now in doubt following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which was once seen by some as an unavoidable victory for Moscow. Since the country's economy can no longer fully modernize and supply its massive, 1.2 million member army, North Korea's potential to invade South Korea has been declining. The intention of North Korea's declaration that it could deploy nuclear weapons for tactical purposes during a war is probably to give any invasion threat new life. According to the National Security Council, As reported by Politico, the United States continues to pursue the total denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. Despite Kim's huge disclosure, North Korea is still forced to live with one overriding constraint. If it uses nuclear weapons, the United States will probably respond with a devastating nuclear attack that will kill Kim Jong-un and the whole of the country's senior leadership. Kim must balance boasting with appearing as a sane actor who recognizes the new existential threat he has placed his nation, and himself, in.